In the wake of the resumed hike in the issues of insecurities, killings, kidnappings, and banditry, or generally terrorism activities around Nigeria, there's now a resumed conversation about protecting the South and elements in the North trying to destabilize a Southern president or an era of the South again. Mentioning the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's era. And like I've always done on this platform, we would educate the ignorant, remind those with amnesia, and protect the vulnerable from those who exploit opportunities like these to sell propaganda. Again, let's go back to the basics. The reason why you even mentioned the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's era is because someone like Tinubu was a mastermind of what you now call protect the South. Tinubu played full-blown politics against his own brother, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. We are going to go into a bit of history, some street conversation, some well-detailed facts about the Nigerian progressive democracy. You can go check that up. I don't lie on this platform. The truth of the matter is that Muhammadu Buhari, after he lost the 2011 election, technically retired from active politics. Of course, his party, the CPC, was purely an ethnic-dominated party. It had an ethnic agenda. And Muhammadu Buhari didn't hide the fact that he wanted to project an ethnic insinuation. And his election against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was incumbent at that time. It was purely an ethnic move. But of course, he failed at that time. When he decided to retire, and then, of course, Tinubu resumed hostilities against Jonathan because of his own long-term plans, he went to bring Muhammadu Buhari out of retirement and then repackaged him. The information are there in the public place. Sold him off to the South as a figure of indestructible, impenetrable being that would curb corruption, because of course that was what was used to destabilize and demarcate Jonathan, and then sold him to the North as being one of your own. You need to vote into power. We need to complete Yaradua term, and all of this information are there in public place. He sold to the North that this is your brother, support him, get Jonathan out. He's my brother, I tell you, it doesn't mean well for you people. Then he told us this man will stop corruption. This man was a figure. He's a war against a disciplined expert and all of the hula baloo. And then Buhari was elected president. When that was done, for his own benefit, he knew what he was up to. But a lot of persons didn't know. Right now, you are not coming to tell us. So who was the person that actually created all of the... I'll go and read. Go and read. Don't take my words on. Go and read. I know that Boko Haram was created from an ideology to stop education, but it was exploited by greedy politicians for their own selfish interest. And again, go and check the records. The communication, the conversation between Nyesom Wike, then Minister of State for Education, and now Vice President Kazim Shettima is still public knowledge. All of the Kabiru Sokoto, the bombs that exploded and all of that time, we know, and there are information everywhere to say that was used. The Chibok gas scam and all of that was used to demarcate Jonathan. And now you are now a beneficiary of all of that. Somebody is coming to tell us, protect the South. You were the one that used it. It was your own tools. It was your own. You brought them from your arsenals to deal with the situation. They call you the political mastermind. That is what you do. There are two types of corruptions that happens in the political space of Nigeria. There's a corruption where the leader is clueless and allows a lot of things to happen. Shehu Shagari of the 80s, 1979, 1983, and of course he won the election until Buhari stepped in. Goodluck Jonathan also ran that government. Probably was naive of the whole situation, and a couple of things went down. Muhammadu Buhari was the epitome of all of that. But you see, there's another type of corruption where the leadership sits, is in charge, has a grasp of the whole thing, controls what comes and what goes, allows loopholes and loose the ends for people for him to reward loyalty and commitment to his cause. Brian Badamosi Babangida, Sani Abacha. In fact, Sani Abacha was being said in some place as though if he didn't eat it, the people would eat it. There were no middleman. Either Abacha eats the money or the people eat it. The few persons that had money in Abacha's time, it was being reported that some of them took from the one he stole. There's a former billionaire from Edo State that was reported to have been personal pilot. He has so much money. It's been reported again. Pierre Palo. Olusegun Obasanjo is in that realm. President Bola Tinubu is also there. Tightened up all. He gives what he wants to give. Now, looking at all of these dynamics, do you think that Bola Tinubu is doing all of this for us? So when you begin to preach this, save the South, don't allow not to... this is just karma catching up with Tinubu. Unfortunately, it is not totally karma because all of these are also conversations that he is cooking from his kitchen. As I talk to you, the conversations around the Nigerian political hemisphere is not the same everywhere. In the North, as I talk to you now, the preaching is, don't allow anybody from the South to come and take over. Tinubu is going to be done 4 years and hand over to you. Anybody from the South now, we extend it. Don't allow anybody. Tinubu has the master plan. In the South, he tells you in the South, don't allow not. Don't allow not. It is a Tinubu versus Tinubu thing. You understand that social media era we used to say Joro versus Joro. Remember that time? Oh, let me remind you. There was a social media influencer at that time that used to read personal stories. He used to publish personal stories. So people say, dear Joro, had my identity. There were some stories that were so crazy. Nigerians said, Joro, now you found this one. So people used to say, you the right to yourself, that Joro. All of the things we are saying now is Tinubu versus Tinubu. Because while Tinubu gathers the southern political leaders, he tells them, don't allow the North to take over. We need to protect our own. In short, there is even a conversation in the Nigerian political space in the south of Nigeria that Tinubu may not even hand over to the North. Should he win his re-election in 2027, we may not hand over to the 2031. I'm telling you, it is in the domain. Whereas if he gathers his own tribesmen, he tells them, see, we have suffered too much in this country. Since we lost MK Abiola, Obasanjo didn't represent our interests. We need to hold on to this. All of you come together. That is why a crisis in the PDP is a Tinubu versus Tinubu crisis. Yes, Wike is working for him. Sheyi Makinde is working for him. All of them using them to collide. The crisis in Rivers State, the crisis in Edo. Anything you see around, there is a Tinubu. So, it's unfortunate. Some of you may not get it now, but we'll get there. There is a Tinubu, we're in a Tinubu versus Tinubu political era where he creates the problem. False flag operations. Try to act as if he's solving it. Then he's just dancing. And that's why they call him the Jagaban. Because he knows what to do better. He's the one that is going to cause a crisis, going to call the police and come back. So all of this conversation, be careful. You are not aiding a Tinubu versus Tinubu agenda. The Nigerian agenda must stand. I am not saying here at this moment that the not come and take over. I'm saying be careful of what you are defending. Don't follow this bandwagon of, the North is fighting. It is Tinubu that breathed, that created and curated that destabilization of a southern government. If not for anything, Tinubu should not do more than one term, because at least it cost the South an opportunity to have completed that term. Today, you are not the one going to benefit from this. And that's why he's doing everywhere now, playing draft with the Nigerian political scenery. Use your head. Use your head.